Oh, that's not centered at all.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. We tried.
Do you want to move it?
Can't. Well, I just more mean like the logo's not centered at all. I don't know how to fix that. Start. We're off to a great start.
Yeah, we are.
That might fall on us at some point.
College football super high output.
Yep. Welcome to the Down East College Football Show. It's week 3. We're off to a great start with trying to figure out how to use a green screen and it not falling on our heads.
Yeah, we'll see.
But we did what we said we would do. We came, we saw, we beat the shit out of Campbell.
Yeah.
Hauser had a great game, 314 yards, 25 to 35. I thought we ran the ball better. Defense was good for the most part outside of, Campbell drove on us one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Campbell, but it's nice to see heading into what I consider is a big game this week. I don't know what your takeaways were.
As far as our game?
Our game, yeah.
All in all, it was nice to see one go through the basket, for lack of a better term, especially in the way that we did it. We went in there and took care of business, and that's really all you can ask for. Like you said, I think Hauser played well. We had, 4 different running backs score touchdowns?
I believe so.
Which was great to see. Really beyond that, I thought we were pretty sound defensively. It's tough to get a gauge on exactly how your team looks in a game like that, but yeah, no, I think everything you said is right, and there's not really much else to say.
Yeah. I thought Brock had a bit of a coming out party. That orbit screen, we talked a little bit about that after the NC State game, where we wanted to see a little more creativity when it comes to that behind the line of scrimmage passing attack, and we saw it there. Big play, almost scored. Later scores on a nice go route. Beautiful ball from Hauser. Other than that, there's not much to say. It was kind of just a shit pumping.
Yeah.
And
I was about to say for lack of a better term, but I think that is the best term.
Yeah.
It was just top to bottom all around. I mean, special teams were good. I was very pleased with what I saw. That was a good get right game after a close one in week 1, which I thought we didn't play at least horribly. So, but again, speaking of that first game, the run game looked miles better.
Yeah.
On Saturday than it did in week 1.
172 yards on the ground from the Pirates total. Definitely better running the ball. Still would like to see the O-line get a little better of a push. It's early in the year. They're still coming together. So other than that, when college football gives you a bad week, college football gives you a good week.
Exactly. Always, without fail.
Some great games. I almost don't want to talk about Iowa State.
It's not
because
really
it was such a boring game, but Iowa State won. We told you the 3 and a hook was scary for a reason.
Yeah, but what I also told you is that the under was not scary. I told you neither team was going to score 20 points, and look at that. So
I think other than that, Iowa might have had the slowest RPO I've ever seen in my life. He held the mesh for a good 4 seconds.
Yeah,
it was impressive. And was going at a crawl towards the line of scrimmage. I'm like, yep, that's that high-end quarterback play. Other than that, both teams run the ball and don't score a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of field goals. Just because it was a big game, Michigan loses to Oklahoma. I am dead wrong on everything I say.
Yeah. I was big on Michigan too, at least in this game.
I just thought, Venables has got a good defense.
He does.
They're going to have to live and die with Mateer.
Yeah.
Because he's going to throw a couple of those balls where he gets almost sideways when he throws it, and that thing just sails.
Yeah.
But then again, he kind of balls.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of a hooper.
He's got all the talent in the world.
He's kind of a hooper.
It's just not harnessed, which we could say that about a couple other dudes. But most notably one. We'll get to that, though.
Other than that, I think Coach Moore's holding back Underwood a little bit.
Probably.
He didn't throw that great. He was 9 for 24, but
Sharon Moore was never meant to be the head coach of this football team. He's just there as the fall guy from everything that happened a couple seasons ago. So I can't really blame him too much when he was kind of thrown into a situation that was never really going to work anyway.
Yeah. Into what I think was one of your favorite games of last week, Missouri, Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
Am I wrong, or has that stadium been under construction for what feels like a decade?
What?
Missouri's.
Is it under construction at all?
Yeah. The back end zone's one of the end zones is completely under construction.
Well, I know they have a grassy hill behind one of them, but
no.
Honestly, I didn't watch much of that game. Honestly, I didn't watch any of it aside from going back and watching the condensed game and all that.
That's pretty much all I watched. Just
because we were at Downey Ficklin, so it was a little tough to do that. But
the only kind of takeaway I had from it was the 4th and 1 play call to give the lead to Missouri was quite impressive. Got everything going right. Tight end sneaks across to the left, just butt naked open for a touchdown.
And Norfleet is good too. He's a solid tight end.
That kind of leads us into, I think, the 2 biggest stories of week 2. You told us here.
I tried to warn y'all.
You told us here.
I didn't necessarily call the win,
but
on either of them. But I told y'all on both of these. Which one do you want to hit first?
USF walks into the swamp and beats the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
If that seat wasn't hot before, it's on fire now. Billy Napier's in trouble with a matchup with LSU this week that I don't think he's going to have a good time in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's at LSU, too. That's a recipe for disaster coming his way.
DJ looks like someone that just has not played a ton of football.
No, because he hasn't.
He's got all the talent in the world, but injuries, you gotta have some sort of connection with your wide receivers and what's
Exactly.
going on. And he just,
I mean, when you don't practice, it's really hard to do that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't practice. He's always hurt. He's got all the talent in the world, but he hasn't been able, kind of like I said with Mateer, but to a larger degree, he hasn't had any time or reps really to harness that talent, at least in as far as their system goes. And it showed. I mean, when we watched the tape, I told you I wanted to watch it just to see how bad it was. And
Yeah.
it was pretty glaring.
It was
some of
pretty
just
bad.
the intricacies and mistakes that he made that could have been very easily corrected or just avoided all in all. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know how much USF actually beat Florida in that game. I feel like Florida beat themselves in a lot of ways watching that game back. So, but yeah, again, I told you so on the CSF team.
What week do you think Billy Napier's fired?
I don't know if he makes it to October.
I mean, he's got LSU. I don't remember if there's a bye before Miami or not.
Let's find out. The problem is in the SEC, it's hard to predict because most schools are very hesitant to fire a dude so early in the season. It seems like that you have to think that it'll only be probably within the last 3 games that he'll get fired.
I mean, looking at that schedule right there, you find me a win.
Let's see. At LSU, early prediction I think is a loss. At Miami the next week, I think is a loss. Then there's a bye. Then they're home against Texas.
Loss.
might be closer than we had imagined preseason, but I think it's a loss. At A&M, probably a loss. Home against Mississippi State is hard to tell.
Yeah.
We'll get to them in a second because I told you so about them too. Then they get a bye, and then they're home against Georgia. Loss.
Yeah.
Then they're at Kentucky.
They'll probably get that one.
They should win that one because Stoops is
they
also
might
on the way out, I think. And in the last 3, they're at Ole Miss, home against Tennessee, home against Florida State. I think there might be 2 wins left on that schedule.
They're in a tough spot if they don't turn this around quickly. This was a team I was really high on preseason, and the worries were, can DJ stay healthy? Don't even know if he's 100% right now because he doesn't look it.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't.
B, can Billy Napier actually find ability to coach? And, no. The answer through 2 weeks is no.
That's the thing is we both had some form of expectations on this Florida team coming in, but it all hinged on 2 things: Lagway's health and Napier's ability to coach. So far, I don't think either have really come through yet. I still don't think Napier can coach. And Lagway is just so unpolished to the point where I feel like he's going to lose them some games.
Yeah.
So, also, if they don't start handing the ball off to Ball 13 in that backfield,
yeah,
that guy's a weapon. They need to start using him a little bit more. He's got just about 200 yards through 2 games just on the ground.
Yeah,
and they didn't use him near enough against USF.
They didn't really put their team in a position to win.
Yeah.
It just,
I think he had.
They shot themselves in the foot on defense with just sheer amount of missed tackles.
Oh my God, all over the place.
And
there were multiple counts where Byron Brown is, for all intents and purposes, sacked in the backfield in this game, and then magically scampers out through bad tackling and manages to get first downs or these big chunk plays. And if you're Florida, you can't do that. But especially if you're Florida expecting to compete in the SEC, and I know there were playoff aspirations for the season for them, you cannot have that, especially at home against an in-state directional G5 team.
Yeah.
I thought USF was going to be really good coming into the season. You're Florida, you can't have that. How
real is USF?
I think they're legit, especially. Let me look at that schedule.
I know they have Memphis and Navy, which I think they're both away,
which is tough, especially that Memphis game. Because I'll call back to my prediction before the season. I think the conference championship matchup is USF Memphis. So if you're going to the Liberty Bowl to play, then that's never going to be easy. Where was that schedule? There it is.
Obviously they got Miami this week, which we'll get to.
Yeah, Why can't they go win that game at Miami? Why can't they? I mean, they're at Miami this week. For all intents and purposes, yeah, we'll chalk it up as a loss for now.
Yeah.
We'll see if my opinion changes by the end of the show. But then they get South Carolina State, Charlotte, then they're at North Texas, then home against FAU, then at Memphis, home against UTSA, who I've kind of been proven right on. I don't think they're quite as good as people thought they would be. Then they're at Navy, at UAB, and then home against Rice to finish the season.
Yeah.
The only two games, take out the Miami game, in conference at least, the only two games that like truthfully scare me are Memphis and Navy, and then you can sprinkle North Texas in there too.
Yeah.
Because it's away, and North Texas is a pretty good ball team. So ball club is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
On to the other big upset of the weekend. Mississippi State in Stark Vegas beats those Sun Devils of Arizona State. Who do you think this means more for?
I think it's all Mississippi State, honestly. Arizona State could still win the Big 12. I don't necessarily think they're gonna, but I think I feel like they're probably still in the driver's seat, aside from me and Utah have a good relationship this year. But I know you might have a differing opinion on this. Being an SEC fan, not in Starkville, Mississippi. Name me a program that deserved that more.
Oh no, I 1,000% agree. I think this is the shot in the arm Mississippi State needed.
Oh yeah.
It's nice to see this happen with everything that happened a few years ago with Mike Leach, and that program just seemed to be on the right
trajectory.
Yeah, wow, on the right trajectory. All right, we're gonna move on.
I said the word for it already.
I completely lost my point. Oh, and then Mike Leach passes away.
Yep.
And it just has kind of been wrong turn after wrong turn, and this is a monumental win for them. And like you said, this doesn't kill Arizona State's season. This isn't like college football a few years ago, 4 years ago, where hey, you're done. Like your season, your playoff aspirations are gone. They still can very well go out, win the Big 12. Hell, they could lose another game and still be fine. But for Mississippi State, this could be something that catapults them into a bowl game this year.
Yeah, it genuinely could be. I mean, that's another team. If you want to talk schedules right now, the way they looked against Arizona State. I mean, obviously it was a very late in the game kind of comeback win.
Yeah.
But
after owning the first half,
they're going to be 4-0 with Tennessee coming to town.
Yeah.
They're going to beat Alcorn State. They should beat Northern Illinois. They're looking at 4-0 right now after two pretty tough non-conference games to start the season. I mean,
tough conference schedule.
At Southern Miss was never going to be easy. And they made it look a lot easier than I thought it would be. But then, I mean, Tennessee, at A&M, at Florida. Then you get Texas, but then you're at Arkansas, which is a very winnable game, which I think they're frisky, but I think Sam Pittman's also kind of on the way out over there. Then they get Georgia, Mizzou, Ole Miss in the season, which is tough. But, I mean, the way that they played, again, against Arizona State, I don't know why they can't at least come close to making a bowl game. I feel like it might come down to that Egg Bowl on Black Friday.
Which, I mean, typically that's a tight game.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think it was last year, but maybe the last 2 years. I don't know if it's been
the last
close.
couple of years. I mean, Ole Miss has just been in a much better spot.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, I think that might be the shot in the arm they needed for some sort of upward trajectory compared to where they have been ever since the passing of Mike Leach.
Yeah.
So I think that was huge for them, and it was damn fun to watch too.
Yeah. That's all I got for week 2. I don't know about you.
I don't really think I have much else. The State-Virginia game was crazy. I cannot believe Virginia lost that game. That was all they're doing and not much of State's doing. But
I have a take about our game based on that.
Okay.
Which I don't know if we want to go straight into the Coastal preview or if we want to go top 12 first.
I mean, actually, let me give some shout-outs to some FCS teams real quick, because there were 2 FCS teams that beat FBS teams this week. I know Long Island beat Eastern Michigan for their first ever FBS win, which was sick. And then, what was the other one? I will find it. I promise. Maybe not right away.
I can't.
I'll work on that. I'll just cut you off when I find it.
Yeah. Well, which direction you want to go? Top 12, or you want to do the preview?
I say we rip the top 12 first.
All right, that works with me because I wrote it down first on the sheet.
There you go.
I didn't really have a ton. I'll while you look for that, I'll go ahead and rip mine. Didn't have a ton of movement. Can't lie. Other than obviously Arizona State and Florida dropping out. So I guess.
Wait, can I stop you? Honestly, I don't even care about finding the game that I was looking for. Can we talk about the state of Kansas State right now, real quick? We don't have to spend much time on it, but that's an Army team that lost to Tarleton State in week 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to Manhattan and beat them, straight up beat them.
Yeah.
Kansas State is in a dire state of affairs. My initial thought was that they were just going to end up being this year's version of Oklahoma State last year, but I think Oklahoma State is this year's version of Oklahoma State last year.
Yeah.
Kansas State, woof. All right, go ahead. I had to say that. Oh, Missouri State beat Marshall, which was crazy. Not FCS, but Bryant beating UMass was the other one.
Not the Minutemen.
Yeah, so those are some other lower level scores from this week in case you missed it.
Number 1, got the LSU Tigers still. Number 2, Penn State still in the same spot. 3, Ohio State. I got to go look to see where the movement is because I do not remember. Top 4, top 5, top 6. Top 6 is completely the same. Ohio State 3, Miami 4, Oregon 5, Georgia 6, South Carolina up to the 7th spot for me. Florida State in the 8th spot. Oklahoma, we're going to give them a little juice right now. I like this Oklahoma team.
You're a better man than I am.
I like this defense. I think Mateer's a little bit of a baller, and this is a little bit of, hey, you were dead wrong last week. You might owe Oklahoma a little something. They're 9th. We'll put Texas at 10th because I think it's fun.
Yeah,
I mean, just to put them right next to each other. And then 11th, Notre Dame. We got Clemson holding up the rear after that tough bout with the Troy Trojans.
Yeah, that was a lot of teas going on. Also, before I get into mine, speaking of things that happened since the last time we've done a show, since we're on the topic of making polls right now, can we talk about the AP poll?
It's a joke.
Good Lord, whatever. I'm not going to put that lady on blast. She's had enough.
There might be AP voters that are worse than her.
God, she had Florida at 16 going into last week. She had USF unranked. She kept USF unranked and moved Florida up 2 spots in her poll to 14. and that's not even the only egregious thing that she did. But good Lord, I mean. This poll is not really going to look too much like the AP because I have a spine, and so I don't know if you were done with that or not.
No, I'm done. Yeah, you go ahead and rip it.
I'll go right back in. The first 3 are unchanged. Maybe not. The first 2 I know are unchanged. I still have Penn State and Ohio State in that kind of 1-2, but also 1A, 1B kind of thing. I'm just using my opportunity now to put my eventual national champion at 1 for Penn State. So there's that. Let's see. I seem to have lost my poll from last week, so I can't tell you what my movement was. I'm sorry about it. But then number 3, I got LSU. They've looked damn good so far. Number 4, I got the Oregon Ducks. They might be the best team in the country. I don't know if you've seen anything that they've done the first couple of weeks.
Just massacred.
Oh, my God.
Don't piss off Dan Lanning.
No, he's got that team humming right now. Number 5, I got the Dogs. I feel like they're a top 5 team right now, unless proven otherwise by Tennessee this weekend. I ran into a problem kind of past these first 6 or 7 teams where there's like 16 teams in the top 12 right now.
Yeah.
And so it was hard for me to do that, but we'll get to that. Number 6, I got Miami. That team has looked pretty dialed so far, at least a lot more so than I thought they would be coming into the season. So I'm giving them credit there. Number 7, Notre Dame. After a bye in week 2, I don't know who allowed that to happen, but considering they didn't do anything to hurt themselves, I can't really move them much. I think I moved them 1 or 2 spots just based on the fact that they scheduled a bye in week 2. What are we doing?
Had to recover.
From, I guess, one game against Miami?
Yeah.
Number 8, I got the Seminoles. I got Florida State all the way up at 8, which I think you had too. But you had South Carolina at 7. I got them at 9. A lot of these teams, it's really tight between them. You can kind of put them any which way. Number 10, I'm still on the Utah train until proven otherwise. I think they're at worst a top 15, potentially a top 10 team in the country. It's just not many people know about them because they play too late in the day. Number 11, I got the Fighting Illini. I got Illinois. Like what I've seen a lot out of them so far, and then USF. I had to throw USF in there.
Can't blame you.
That's another
I
Utah
thought about
thing where
doing
they've been proving me right so far this season. So I guess notable omissions are Texas and Clemson.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
Win a game.
You haven't earned it yet.
Yeah.
Clemson. Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's Troy. That's another one we didn't touch
kind of glossed over. Yeah.
Down at home to Troy by, what was it, 16
nothing at one point.
halftime?
Yeah.
I think it was at halftime.
It was.
What are we doing? Y'all got a lot of figuring out to do before you make this top 12. I promise you that. So, do you want me to run through my 12 again? Or
Yeah,
just,
you can.
Yeah, Penn State, Ohio State, LSU, Oregon, Georgia. That's my top 5. Miami, Notre Dame, Florida State, South Carolina, Utah. That's my that's the rest of the top 10. And then I got Illinois and USF out there, or in there rounding out the top 12.
Definitely think there is kind of a 5-6 team separation.
Yeah.
You got like 1 through 6 right now look pretty strong.
Yeah.
And then like 7 through 20
it
could be a range of possibilities.
There's no telling. Aside from the fact that there's some teams ranked in that top 20 that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, it's the AP for you.
I'm not hurting about it.
We'll get on to what the task at hand this week is. Down to Conway, not even Myrtle Beach. Although it's kind of hard after going to those baseball games for me to trash on Coastal because I kind of had a sick time there.
Coastal rocks. I can't.
It's kind of like I used to
it's
not care for Coastal because of the regional here for baseball, but then I went there and I'm like, A, the stadium is epic, and B, kind of a great time.
People have tried to drum it up as some huge rivalry between us. This will be the second time we've ever played them in football.
And both being a bowl game.
Exactly. And like both of our fan bases get along pretty well. We're very similar in, let's say, our courses of action throughout any given game day, or game night, if you will, in the festivities following the game. So I like Coastal as an idea and as a fan base. And then we get to the game. Then we get to the actual product on the field.
Yeah.
That I'm not so sure about.
Coastal, for lack of a better term, hasn't looked very good.
Yeah.
Gets shellacked. This was my take from the Virginia NC State game. Virginia gave that game away for the most part to the Wolfpack. We played the Wolfpack close. 56. Did I write it down? Didn't write it down. Pretty sure it was 56-3. Virginia beat them.
Was it that bad?
It was pretty bad. It was bad.
48-7.
48-7. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
They scored 13 points on Charleston Southern.
Yeah.
Don't know much about Charleston Southern football, but I can't imagine it's very good.
They can't be. All I know about them is that they played here, 22 season they came to Greenville, I think is what it was. I think it was a 22 season.
Yeah.
Because I just know it was the season before. Yeah, it was the season before state came. So 22.
Yeah.
That's all I know really about Charleston Southern, aside from they're the Buccaneers and they're blue and gold. But and the fact that they only gave up 13 points to Coastal.
Yeah. Coastal's I saw picked anywhere from kind of 4th to 5th in the Sun Belt East,
Which is crazy.
Oh,
in the division?
Yeah, in the division.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Defense looked very zone heavy for the most part, so which I don't think is kind of out the ordinary for us so far.
No.
A lot of cover 3 from NC State, a lot of cover 3 from Campbell.
Yeah.
That I remember. There wasn't alcohol involved.
No.
Their run D doesn't look great. I mean, they gave up 98 to Charleston Southern, not to just keep hammering that point home.
Yeah.
And 164 to UVA. I also think that QB had a pretty big day through the air for them as well.
Yeah.
I think he threw for almost 300, might have been 274. I could be completely making that up. My keys to the game on defense are definitely got to have eye discipline. Morris, good in the zone read. They seem to run a lot of zone read. And you got to get him down quick.
Yeah.
He's a decent scrambler. He's pretty mobile, pretty agile. Other IL words.
Half the time when you watch him, he looks senile.
Yeah.
He's not very good. Take it from a guy that watched him play a lot of games, or basically all of the games that he did play, because it wasn't actually a lot. When he was at State, he's fine.
Yeah,
he has had a rough start to the year. Though
it's not been good.
He got benched against Charleston Southern last
week,
and can't remember the kid's name, came in and
he made one pass against UVA.
Better. I've been trying to get to his name.
He was like 6 for 7. If I can find it in 2 seconds.
But Morris has not completed a whole lot of passes. He's thrown 4 picks, no touchdowns. Across the board, they just haven't looked that good.
Tad
Hudson, that's right.
He was 3 for 5 for 35 yards.
Yeah.
3 less interceptions.
Did he have a passing touchdown or a rushing touchdown? I think he had a rushing touchdown. So that guy it seems like, moved. I don't know where on the field that rushing touchdown came from. It could have been a 2-yard, just punch it in thing. But
3 carries for 19 yards and a tud.
But this is I've been kind of dogging on Coastal now in this early part, especially at the quarterback position. This is a game that scares me at the same time, just because it's just one of those games, That's kind of how the feeling I get from it. I can't really put anything specific on it, or
I mean, how fearful are you? No. Are you under 7.5 points fearful?
No. I feel like 7.5 is honestly not a bad line. It wouldn't shock me if we win this game by a touchdown or less, but I think we should go in there and probably kind of seal it late, I would assume, and just outlast them, I guess, or for lack of a better term. And I feel like we should cover that 7.5.
Yeah.
I feel like a 10-point win is comfortable here, but again, you never know. This might be the game that it clicks. It's so early in the season, and especially with a team that's kind of been all over the place.
Yeah.
It's tough to tell.
I didn't take it on our picks this week. I might go back and actually bet this, because I think there's one on my list I didn't actually bet, but I might take us giving the 7.5.
Yeah.
I think we beat them kind of comfortably. I don't think Coastal's very good. I don't like what I've seen from their defense.
No.
Looking back, I'm not going to sit here and act like I watched Coastal games live. I looked back at what you can find. I mean, you can find plenty from the UVA. I can find a whole UVA game.
Yeah.
But
finding Coastal Charleston
it was a little more difficult. Tough. I'm pretty sure I had somebody that cut up video of him recording it on his phone.
Yeah.
Like recording ESPN Plus on his phone. It was bad.
I love that.
But that's how I watched the majority of the highlights from the Charleston Southern game. I'm thinking this is like a 35, 21, 42, 24-ish kind of game.
Yeah.
Maybe hits that over. Not quite. But I think
56.5 right now.
All right, I wrote down 55.
That's at least on the
spin.
On the 4-letter acronym.
But yeah, I think we beat him pretty comfortably.
It should be a comfortable win.
79% on us, apparently.
Yeah, it's about 80-20 as far as the 4-letter acronym analytics.
It also looks like it might be a 50-50 split fan-wise.
Yeah, honestly, I've seen that we're going to travel pretty well.
Yeah, I think I've seen that there were more requests for tickets for this game than there were for the NC State game. Yeah. So I think Pirate Nation's going to show out. We will not be there this weekend, but have a beer for us.
Yeah, I'll tell you where I'm going to be when we get to week 3.
Well, we'll jump right in, which I guess there's a lot of games we can talk about.
There are a good few games.
Got a couple kind of in order of time slide here, but Clemson at Georgia Tech. I think the spread tells you everything you need to know. 3.5.
Yeah.
Clemson, the favorite. It's the only team I've been right about on this show.
Yeah.
Is Georgia Tech. And I've only bet on them once. They've got me one of my 3 wins. But let's see what kind of comeback Clemson can have. This is a spot that worries. I didn't think this is a game Georgia Tech would win at the beginning of the season. I still don't really think it's a game they win right now. They have it at home. Do you think Tech's got a shot?
I definitely think they got a shot. Given the fact that Troy had a shot, I think I can very comfortably say that Georgia Tech has a shot in this game. This could end up being a preview of the ACC championship. I don't think it will be, just because of how good Miami's been and how kind of sketchy Clemson's been at times. But I mean, I definitely think Georgia Tech, especially with 3.5. I don't know. I feel like this game could finish within 3, like at the buzzer, kind of.
Yeah.
It feels like, on one hand, just one of those games that Georgia Tech is just gonna be one of those just party atmospheres when they win it late, and Atlanta's burning down, or at least that little subset of Atlanta. But on the other end, it feels like Clemson coming off of whatever adjective you want to call it that they put out against Troy. It feels like this is a prime get back game to kind of shut everybody up about Georgia Tech a little bit and shut everybody up about Clemson to an extent. I lean Clemson in this game. I feel like that number is close though. I feel like it's going to be a close game, but I would lean Clemson right now.
I think I lean Clemson. Next, let's Bama got it kind of, I guess, back rolling against Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah.
I mean, they did slaughter them. But
I mean, you're supposed to.
This isn't a great Wisconsin team.
No.
But Alabama still looks unwilling to, hit guys on defense.
Yeah.
20.5 points. Alabama's the favorite. 46.5 is the total. Do you think Wisconsin's got enough to just make this a game?
Maybe in the first half. I think talent and sheer size is going to be the factor here more so than anything. You said that total was at what?
46.5 is what I had.
I like it a little higher than that personally. I haven't taken this game, but that kind of feels like.
Does it say 46.5?
It says 46.5. That feels like an over game.
It feels low.
It feels like a pretty surefire over. I mean, maybe Wisconsin's defense has been better than we're giving them credit for. I truthfully have not watched much of Wisconsin at all this season.
All I know about Wisconsin is from Big Cat, and they didn't look very good in their first game.
No, but I mean, neither did Alabama.
Yeah, so.
Albeit against different competition, but I don't know.
We shall see.
Game.
We shall see.
I like Alabama though.
Yeah.
It's just that 20.5.
It's a lot of points.
I mean, I think Alabama in this game could score 46.5, maybe not in the half, maybe 46 or 47, just on their own. So I feel like if Wisconsin gets into pay dirt once or twice, or at least a touchdown and a field goal or two, I mean, I feel like that's an easy over. So, but again, I like Alabama, and I might would lean them covering as well.
USF at Miami. Miami's 17.5-point favorites. The number sounds oddly familiar. 57.5 the total. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this game, honestly, because I know your opinion, which is you think they're going to give them a fight.
Yeah, I mean,
and I have an opinion that later in the next segment.
I do. This is where I think the train pulls into the station. Just it's a stop on the journey.
Yeah,
but I think some people might have to get off here. I'm not getting off, but I might get off and meander through the station and get me like a cup of coffee or something on USF if that makes any sense at all. I do lean Miami again. I mean, I had them ranked 6th in my top 12, and I gave USF a courtesy 12.
Yeah.
I think if they win this game, they're gonna maybe replace Miami at 6, if not go higher. I feel like USF might be in for kind of a reset game here. I think it's within the number.
Yeah.
But I like Miami here just from everything that I've seen from them so far.
I have no opinion on the total quite yet, but
what's the total? Let's see.
Or
Yikes.
On anything in this game.
57.5 is large.
I also have Miami ranked high. I've had to eat crow on USF twice now, and I'll leave it at that. I'll talk about them in a little bit.
All right.
Another big game, night game, A&M at Notre Dame.
Yep.
6.5 points. Notre Dame's the favorite. 49.5 is the total. I think this is for a team that got manhandled in the second half by Miami, especially in the trenches. I don't know if A&M's the team I want to be playing with that problem. That being said, their quarterback is a dog.
Yeah.
If he might not figure it all out this season, but he will figure it all out. The kid can play.
Yeah.
I think A&M doesn't win, but I think they keep it within the number.
Yeah, I've stayed away from this game a little bit.
Yes, very much.
I'm definitely not going to be putting any money on it or giving a pick for it. It being in South Bend does a lot. I feel like, just like it would if it was at Kyle Field. But I probably lean Notre Dame, partly because I feel like this is one of those games where you're probably better off taking the home team. But also what I've seen potential wise out of CJ Carr so far, he looks like there's a lot of something there. So I don't know if he's necessarily at this time better than Marcel Reed, but I feel like I trust Marcus Freeman to go win this game more than I do Mike Elko. And that's not at all an indictment on Elko. I think he's a fantastic coach. It's just this feels like a Marcus Freeman game. Maybe when they play the Girl Scouts later on this season, they'll have an oopsie and lose one. But
drop a game to Toledo.
Toledo's pretty good though.
They play somebody from the MAC.
Let's see.
That was more me trying to think of who they play in the MAC.
Let's see.
Bet you it's their game after that.
No, they get Purdue next.
Oh, what a mighty opponent!
Jesus Christ,
no, they don't.
That's not a MAC school. That's not an easy schedule. They get A&M, Purdue, at Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, USC, at Boston College, Navy, at Pitt, Syracuse, at Stanford. So they ended with a kind of easy one. But, I mean, there's a lot of sneaky games in there. Yeah. But it's also not a typical, super tough Notre Dame schedule. But, yeah, no MAC team. So maybe not this. I don't know. Regardless, I got off on a tangent there. I feel like Notre Dame wins a close one.
Yeah.
To put in the words of Lee Corso.
Yep. 3:30 at a school in Athens.
Yeah.
That I like goes to good old Neyland. Good old Rocky Top.
I'm gonna let you take the reins on this one. I got takes, but lead us off.
Georgia, Tennessee. Georgia's a 3.5-point favorite, 4.5. Depends on kind of where you look. 49.5, also the total in this game. things are going to have to change in Gunnar Stockton's gameplay, I think, for this to be a big win for Georgia and maybe even a win in general.
Yeah.
I don't mind what I've seen from Gunnar Stockton so far this year. I almost think he's a little too safe. That being said, I really think Georgia can run the football this year. I know it's been against cupcakes, but when you see the size of those holes, I think you can make them against good teams.
I was going to say, it gets to a point where it doesn't really matter who you're playing.
Although
look at it.
Tennessee, I wish I remember the guy's name, does have a guy on the D-line that is somebody you should worry about.
Oh, it's Jesus. I can't remember his name.
That being said, I think Tennessee's got the advantage at the quarterback position. I'd give Georgia a slight advantage at the wide receiver position. I think offensive line, as of today, you'd have to probably lean Tennessee.
Yeah.
We get to the other side of the ball. I think Georgia's defense is back to being Georgia's defense.
I think you're right. But at the same time, I think Tennessee's defense is really good.
I think Tennessee's got a good defense. I think Tennessee's got a really good offense.
Yeah.
Stylistically, these two teams couldn't be more different.
Yeah.
Tennessee wants to spread you out, lighten the box, and force you to stop the run and commit guys to the box to stopping the run, and then they beat you over the top.
Yeah.
If I were to tell you there's only one coach that has held Josh Heupel under 20 points, you know who it is.
Who is it?
It's Kirby Smart.
Wow.
What a shocker. So Josh Heupel has had these high-flying offenses that beat you over the top, has not done it against a Kirby Smart defense, and I think this secondary is the second best secondary in the country behind Ohio State's.
Yeah.
I think they got some dudes back there, Elias Robertson, KJ Bolding. I mean, or they just got dogs.
Yeah.
And Georgia's MO on defense is we'll stop your run with a light box. They're used to that's what they do.
Yeah.
And they have the big guys to get after the quarterback. I mean, this freshman, Elijah Griffin's really impressed the hell out of me. That being said, I still think this is an absolute dogfight to the bitter end. I think this comes down right to the end. I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to pick the dogs. But like you just said, as the great Lee Corso says, I like the dogs in a close one.
Yeah. I feel like Georgia's it's really tough because I don't know what Tennessee's game plan is going to be as far as whether they're going to come out slinging or come out ground and pound. But whichever one that they start with, Georgia's going to have to basically know that from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because Tennessee, as per usual, can run the ball. That's never really been a problem.
I mean, they've been a top rushing team in the FCC under Josh Heupel every year he's been there.
Exactly. There is never going to be any real doubt with them running the ball. If they can get through the air, it might have to be short crossing route type things and probably not near as many deep shots down the
explosives.
field. I feel like because of that and because of how well they can run the ball, I feel like that makes Joey Aguilar kind of the X factor for them in this game, whether or not he can find open receivers, because they're going to be open. It's just a matter of if he can see him down the field, which I think he's really good at reading the defense, and I think he's so much better of a fit at Tennessee than Nico was last year, obviously, which isn't really hard to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like this offense is kind of tailor-made to play to Aguilar's strengths, and it's tough. I really believe that if they can establish at least something on both in kind of both facets of the offense, Tennessee's going to win this game.
Yeah.
Just because I believe it's going to be easier for Joey Aguilar against Georgia's defense than it will be for Gunnar Stockton against Tennessee's defense, specifically when it comes to getting the ball through the air and moving down.
I don't disagree. Gunner's going to have to step up big if Georgia wants to win this game. But the only thing I come back to is that I think Georgia can legitimately run the ball.
Yeah.
And if they just take the air out of the ball and go, hey, we're going to beat you with Gunner playing a simple game. He's yet to throw an interception, I believe. He hasn't really made a ton of throwing mistakes, and we're going to run the ball for 4 or 5 yards at a time.
Yeah.
I think that might be the way Georgia wins this game.
I completely
because they ain't getting in a gunfight with them.
Yeah. But I mean, that's why I'm staying so far away from this game.
Yeah, I don't want to touch that. This could go either way.
My opinion, every 5 minutes has changed on who's going to win this game or which way I lean. It's impossible. Just because I know you're going to be on Georgia, I'll just play devil's advocate and go.
Works with
go
me.
Tennessee.
I'm not even that sure I'm on Georgia.
That is not an official pick for our thing. Let me make that very clear because I've been hot right now, or the first 2 weeks of the season with those. But
we've been polar opposites with our picks so far.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch because I keep forgetting to write them down in my notes of what my record actually is. But I want to say it's in the ballpark of 8-2 in my 10 picks so far.
I'll go first so you can tally them up.
That's
How about that? Well, once we get there, because
I'm gonna.
I don't know if you,
I haven't written them down, and
yeah.
there were some that I didn't place just because I had an awful. Aside from the wins that I did have in week 1, I was awful outside of that, and so I kind of drained myself a little bit. So I've been off actual monetary placements, but I'll go back, and by next week I'll have a concrete number for you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you have. I know there's one game you want to talk about, and it's the game you're going. But do you have anything else before that?
I really don't, because I was kind of just starting to talk myself into generalities in the Georgia-Tennessee game, just because I'm so conflicted on who I think is going to win that game. And
I think there's going to be some really good football this week. I mean that 3:30 you get that game, and I think it's going to be tight. Clemson, Georgia Tech might be at noon.
It is at noon.
Yeah, so I mean
you're from Bobby Dad.
You got some good football on, leading into where you're going.
Here comes some not as good football, but probably going to be the atmosphere of the weekend. I will be going to the backyard brawl, Pitt, West Virginia, in Morgantown. That place is going to be jumping, but not because of the way that their teams play. It's more because of who they're playing. West Virginia's looked a little shaky, actually kind of a lot shaky to start the season, considering they lost to Ohio this week.
Yep.
Which, again, to be fair, I've been saying Ohio is probably going to be the class of the MAC this year. Between them and Toledo, that doesn't excuse West Virginia. To go lose to them. That's just more me kind of hindsighting myself into that. And Pitt, I think, is a really solid team. I love Eli Holstein as a quarterback. I really don't know how to feel about this game. I'm going as a West Virginia fan, so and I watched the majority of their game against who was it? Robert Morris in week 1, an FCS opponent at home, first game of the second Rich Rod era. They looked fine, and then they didn't look fine last week, and I wasn't able to watch the game. So I really don't know how I feel going into this game, and my brain is clouded because I'm on a very heavy diet of eat shit Pitt. So I don't know. I'm excited to go to that game because it's one of my favorite rivalries in college football, and it's a bucket list thing for me to go to that game, especially at West Virginia. Not at Pitt where they play in an NFL stadium. So I really don't have much to talk about as far as that game is concerned, aside from the fact that I'm damn excited to go.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not going to be at the Coach League.
Eat shit, Pitt. That's all I really got.
Eat shit, Pitt.
I think I've always kind of, especially when you're 9 years old and Tavon Austin and Geno Smith. And, they just had some dudes rolling through there when we were kids.
Even before then, like Pat White, Steve Slayton, Pat McAfee.
They've always had some fun dudes. So
oh, yeah.
I got nothing wrong with the Mountaineers. Well, we'll end it right here with our picks. Are you ready, or you need a second?
You go first.
All right.
I
was going to let you go first because I am just abysmal right now. 1-4 last week for me brings me to a whopping 3-7 on the year so far. I tried very hard to fade myself this week. I didn't realize how hard that is to talk yourself out of what you think is right.
Yeah.
I could not do it in most cases. You'll see what I did it in the one case.
I'm excited.
I'm running it back with Ole Miss. 8.5 was too much. 7.5. Just right.
So you're doing what I did with Baylor last week.
Yeah. We'll run Ole Miss minus 7.5 versus Arkansas. South Carolina Vandy. Another good game this week. Give me the Gamecocks. 4.5.
Love that. Come on now.
Love the Gamecocks.
Let's go.
And here's where I faded myself. You've been wrong twice. They're going to lose to Florida. They're going to lose to Boise State. No, Tulane's the best team in the conference. Give me the Bulls. Getting 17.5 points at Miami.
USF, I'm sorry that he has done that because I don't have y'all this week in my bets. I think you might cover the 17.5, but I'm not. You're not my pick this week. I'm sorry. He might have just done something horribly wrong to you. But it's okay. He's excited about your team. He's excited about your team, and we'll go with that.
Is there something about Temple I don't know?
I mean,
other than they suck.
They haven't really played anybody, but they've looked pretty good, dude. They've looked pretty good.
21.5, still plenty.
Yeah.
Give me Oklahoma.
This is a back to earth game for Temple.
Give me Oklahoma 21.5. 3 favorites, taking 2 dogs. My second dog being that other team in our conference that I think is very good.
Yeah.
Give me Tulane plus the 1.5 playing Duke at home. I think the Green Wave get it done. And
they've already beaten the hell out of one Power 5 team in Northwestern when they went on the road and won there. So I definitely don't hate that.
Duke coming off of just a shellacking by the hands of Illinois. I wonder who bet at Duke. Yeah, I think they get beat quite badly. Actually, give me Tulane. There we go.
It finally did it.
Yep. Give me Tulane.
Yeah, I don't have any objections to that at all.
Yeah.
Is that your 5?
That's my 5. Ole Miss minus 5. The Cox minus 4.5. USF plus 17.5. Oklahoma minus 21.5. And Tulane plus 1.5.
I have 3 7.5 spreads and an over and an under.
Okay.
We'll go ahead. We'll do it just based on time, I guess. We'll start with at noon. Speaking of Northwestern, 48.5 is the total when Oregon comes to town. I think Oregon might score 48.5 in the first half. Hammer that over. Then I'm just going to do it. Yeah. East Carolina minus 7.5.
Come on.
Why not? Another minus 7.5. LSU at home against Florida. Why is that number so low? Hammer. Jack that number up, I'll still be there.
I told someone as a mutual treaty because he likes to mush my team.
Yeah.
I told him I would not bet on LSU this week because I'm like, why is it 7.5?
Yeah.
I was like, I won't bet on LSU this weekend if you don't utter a word about ever gambling on Georgia this year.
Also, I lied. I forgot I have a Thursday game in here. It's the 4th game on here. I really hate to do this. I really do. I will not be placing this bet, but it's a bet I think is very much going to hit. This is a game that on Thursday night that NC State usually loves to go to Winston-Salem and just lose no matter how good Wake Forest is. And this year they are terrible.
Putrid.
But State, they're only a touchdown favorite. It's sitting at 7.5. Give me that. I think they're just simply better enough than Wake Forest is to not only go out there and win, but go out there and cover. That one pained me to do, but whatever. And then finally, Eastern Michigan at Kentucky. This is a silly one. Kentucky has looked about how I expected Kentucky to look this year, which is just not good at all. And Eastern Michigan just lost to an FCS school at home. Eastern Michigan at Kentucky under 46.5. I don't care that number's pretty low. I don't know if either. I think 46.5 is
the first one to 10. Go.
Yeah, it genuinely might be. This could be a 15.5 point spread. I might still take the under. Yeah, that's my 5. I got. You want me to run through them?
Yeah, might as well.
Oregon Northwestern over 48.5. ECU -7.5 in Conway. LSU -7.5 at home against the Gators. Thursday night, the Wolfpack -7.5 in Winston-Salem, and Eastern Michigan at Kentucky under 46.5.
Outside of that, if y'all have anything to say in the chat, feel free. You got any jersey?
I got a couple. Cannot lie to you. Usually I go to Uniswag or Uniwatch or what's the other one? I can't remember what it is. On Twitter to go find all my uniform news for the week. Twitter wasn't really talking about that today.
Yeah.
So, but what I did have, what happened, all this stuff was, I believe, released at least before the middle of this afternoon. Colorado School of Mines, I believe D3. They're either D2 or D3. I can't remember. Good program, whichever division it is. They're like really good program. Sweet helmet they're bringing out this week with
the dynamite stripe.
The stripe down the middle of there. I meant to have pictures ready for this. A lot of unforeseen events that didn't allow for that to happen. But the stripe going down their helmet, it kind of looks like a stripe at first, and until you get to the back where it's a stick of dynamite, so sick. Arizona's bringing out kind of like a modern throwback type thing. It's like an 80s, like their 80s logo that they used. I think it was the 80s at least. Just kind of on a plain white helmet. I think it might have a blue stripe down the middle. It's a clean look. It's on their normal. It's with their normal uniforms.
Yeah.
But they're pretty classy anyways. And then helmet of the week without question. Boise State rocking hand painted helmets. This week against who are they playing? App State.
Yeah.
I think that's for this week, right?
Or
is that next week? I might be a week early on this actually. Now that I think about it, I think it's next week. I think I might have messed up here.
Yeah, that's next week.
Regardless, that's the helmet of the week as far as helmets.
No, it's not. When is that?
They said it was against App State coming up. Again, today
you're a couple weeks off. It's week 5.
Well, they announced it this week, so I'm going to talk about it. It's sick. I won't go into too much detail because I'll probably go into all the detail when they actually wear them in 2 weeks. Again, only a couple helmets this week. My uni of the week is Liberty's kind of bringing out. They're bringing out what I consider kind of their faux back. It's like a fake throwback thing. It's their baby blue set with script flames on the helmet. It's sweet. That's really all I got as far as crazy alternates or anything this week. And then my uniform matchups of the week, I haven't really seen many confirmed matchups. I mean, if you're an ACC football fan, NC State Wake Forest is going to look good on Thursday. Wake Forest, and they're all black. But then I got a couple old head matchups. I got to have at least 1 or 2 of those every week. Texas A&M, Notre Dame. That one's for you old guys. Not as much as this one though. Florida LSU. That was made for the 70-year-old man in wherever across the country, honestly. But specifically in
Northwestern Oregon will probably be a good-looking game.
Yeah, green and purple. I mean, that
clashes a little bit.
No, but I feel like you can't really go wrong with that. I'll look through here, see what else I see. And again, I don't know what these teams are actually wearing. Georgia Tennessee is going to be classic.
Sure, Tennessee's colors are nice.
Well, I didn't say I like it. I just said it's classic. Even though there are changes every year.
Yeah.
I think really that's all I got. I've always kind of liked Ohio's uniforms, at least now recently since they redid them. They're going to look pretty good getting the tar beat out of them in Columbus this week. That's really all right. Vandy, South Carolina is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
That's pretty much all I got. That about does us here at the Downey Sports Network for the college football show. This was week 3, Wednesdays, 8 o'clock every week till the season is over. Check us out on Twitch. Like and subscribe on YouTube, retweet, comment, and all that good stuff on X. We will see y'all next week.
All your loved ones, God bless America.